Hallo und willkommen, ich bin Meister Alexis and this is Dina and you're watching Get Germanized, reacting to Hayley Alexis dating German men versus American men.
I am bored, what should I do?
Ich weiß.
Get Germanized. Well, I should specify and say USA men probably. Dina's from Canada, so you only really have experience in dating Canadians and I guess a few Germans, or like a little bit of a Germany dating experience so far. And we're gonna listen to what Hayley has to say about this whole thing and react to it. You can find her channel linked in the video description as well, of course. So I'd say let's get started right away. I'm gonna pause it in between, and maybe if you have a reaction then just let me know, or like press pause yourself. Okay, let's go.
You're not dating someone for at the end of it all to just sit there and count pennies with them, okay? So, hi everyone, what is up? My name is Hayley. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you did not know, now you do. As you guys can tell, I'm still in the same outfit that I was in my last video. I'm lazy. That's what I do. Sorry. But as you can tell from the title, I am going to be comparing German men versus United States men. There are 4 main points that I compare German men to the United States equivalent to, and those points are the ADA, I call it, the AADA. The appearance, the approach, the dating, and the afterwards. A lot of people always ask me, which I find it to be funny, about the appearance of German men, about the appearance of the United States men, and who do I prefer. I do not...
Actually, a subscriber of mine recently has commented, I think it was on Instagram or something like that, oh, I came to Germany and I was so disappointed with like the German men. I thought they were way more good-looking German men. Aww. No offense. But I mean, good looks are always relative anyway. If you expect to come here and see only this Aryan stereotype, you know, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, anyway.
See one specific image for each country. In Germany, a lot of people think of blonde hair, blue-eyed, Matthias, what's his name? Schweighöfer? Whatever. I don't even know what his name is. That's what
I just meant, right? Yeah. They expect this. What did you think when you came to Germany? What was your expectation of men?
I didn't really have an expectation of men necessarily, because like I just think having that stereotype is silly. Like there's no way that in this day and age that everyone looks like that. There's no way. So yeah, I didn't really have too much of an expectation. I did expect everyone to be super tall.
And? Everyone's
super tall.
Yep, that's pretty much true.
Not quite as tall as I thought. I was thinking like stereotypically like extreme, like everyone's super tall, but there are definitely way more tall people here.
I mean, I'm 6'2". Is that like taller to you, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. But you thought even taller?
Yeah.
Like 2 meters, like which would be what, 6'7" or 6'8" or something? I don't know how much actually.
I don't know about that. I was thinking maybe like between your height, like 6'2" to 6'4", would be like everybody.
Okay. All clones of each other, all massive giants.
Yeah, I did think height was gonna be definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Which it is. But not to the stereotypical extreme. I think it's like an averagely tall population.
Alright, let's continue.
That's what a lot of people think that German men look like. When I got here and I was like, holy crap, what I thought a good looking German guy was when I got to Germany, totally different of what I think of a good looking German guy now. Very diverse, so I can't really say that every German guy has blonde hair, blue eyes. Definitely not the case. If you have a preference for any guy, dark, light, tall, short, skinny, fat, freckles, non-freckles, there's gonna be a guy here for you. And especially in the United States where the population is how much? 4 times? You're definitely gonna find a guy there that tickles your fancy. One of the main why do I keep saying emphasis? One of the major points, main points for me that I talked about many years ago in my first ever dating in Germany video, I think I had to delete it, but one of the main points that I listed as a pro was height, and then I put that most German guys are taller than 5'9", which actually I think the average German male height is 5'10", maybe. I don't know the exact height, but I want to say the average is maybe 5'9" to 5'10". And then I looked at what the American equivalent was, and it would also be 5'9", I think was the average height. So I said that German guys were taller than American men, but they technically are not. And the thing was is that in the United States, they subcategorized it by different groups. So they put Latin American, African American, and Asian American. And Latin American and Asian American, those lowered the group. It's not being mean.
Makes sense.
Latin American. and Asian Americans are usually smaller, stature, height, all around, sometimes smaller. In Germany, they didn't do that, which I found also to be interesting because there is a heavy Turkish influence, so I wanted to see if there would be a difference with like Turkish people or not. But
yeah, it's just not a thing here in Germany necessarily to talk about your heritage like that. I'm not like German Italian or something, or German Greek. I'm German when I live here, when I was born here, most of us. Or many of the Turkish people don't see themselves as German, even if they live here. They see themselves as Turkish people, just living in Germany. Some even if they've been born here, so that is definitely a difference. In America, it's like a big thing to say, oh, I'm quarter this, I'm quarter that. Is it the same in Canada?
Yeah, because, I mean, I think it's the same for Americans because we're built on immigration. We are so diverse in that way, so when somebody says, oh, I'm Canadian, it's like, oh, yeah, we know we're all Canadian. But what, like, more are you than that?
That's actually not related necessarily to like dating now, but what I noticed, you are right, the US is built on immigrants, right? Mm-hmm. But they are the first to jump on others, like they want to like cut their throats when they let immigrants in and stuff like that. Or some, not, I know that's not true. All of them, no, not all of them, but like many comments come to my channel from the US. From like, I don't know, extreme people, I suppose, right? Mm-hmm. And they say like, oh, I hate this multicultural bullshit, this diversity. And I'm like, dude, you come from a country that is built on that. Like, what is your freaking issue, right? So it's weird. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I guess it's an issue. They tend to forget. I think because like American identity is so important to them and how they grew up that it, I guess, overpowers the fact that they are. Chances are you're an immigrant. I mean, you are basically
a son of an immigrant or a grandchild of an immigrant or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I don't get it. Anyway, let's move on from that.
They don't really care about that kind of stuff. It's like, this is what the height is with everyone mixed in. In the United States, this is what the height is. But it's like this because this reason. You don't want to get rid of a big chunk of the population. When I think about what I said now, very superficial, you guys, and I would have gotten rid of so many people, or I had not dated a whole bunch of guys because of their height. You know, there were other qualities that they could have possessed, being intelligent, being nice, being humble, being sweet, being sympathisch, all those kinds of, I guess, attributes they could have possessed. And I honestly did not care because I was from the United States and we associate sexiness and just like a higher, what is it called? Like a higher, we expect people, or we think, I'm trying to think of how to word this, you guys, but I don't. We associate being intelligent or being better, just all around better, we associate that with being tall. But in reality...
Really?
I know that's a thing in America. I think Canada's a little bit like that too, where it's like, oh, he's so tall. Like, you associate some kind of like extraness to a person based on their height, which...
That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get the thing where someone might be treated better because they're more attractive, but I've never heard this about just the height of a person. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess then it would also contribute to the attractiveness of a person if they're taller, like for those people, like from the US and I guess Canada as well.
Well, it's pretty rare, but I know in the US it is a pretty big thing still. Like, I don't know too many people who care much about height anymore. But in the US, definitely. Like, I get what she's saying for that. So,
huh.
Yeah.
Curious. I mean, I'm pretty sure German women like tall German men as well. I think mostly for German women, I guess for many women in general, it's important that a guy is a certain amount taller than them, at least, so that if they, for example, I know it's stupid, but if they wear high heels, that they are still not taller than the dude.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I heard that at least a couple of times. Is it true?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I personally don't care, and I don't know many people who do really care all that much. But yeah, I guess that's a way to think about it. I don't think it should influence like a decision.
No, I don't. To me, it's odd. Like, I don't care if someone is like tall. Like, even if a girl was taller than me a little bit, like not maybe massively, but a little bit, I wouldn't care. Or if she's as tall as me, I don't care. If she's smaller than me, I don't care. So yeah, unless it's like an extreme difference, like maybe like I don't know, yeah, just extreme. That's never good,
to
I
be
guess.
fair though, height for me is like a little bit important because I'm really short and I struggle with reaching things. So.
It's kind of funny actually.
Yeah, I make all my tall friends help me get stuff and do things because, you know, it's a short people problem.
Yep.
What are you going to do?
Interesting. Anyway.
Anybody can be anything regardless of height. Honestly, just a biological factor, has nothing to do with our certain way. Like if you treat people nice, or if you are hardworking, or if you're educated, those are not features or factors that are biological. That's something that you cannot change. Just like my skin color, I cannot change the skin or the hair that I was born with. I mean, I can chemically straighten it, and I can sit in the sun, and of course I'll get darker or lighter if I don't go out in the sun, but other than that, this is how I was born. And I think height also, that is how someone's born, but you shouldn't base your decisions on those types of things. If my rant about height now, you guys, so sorry.
But yeah, I mean, that's a normal thing to kind of include the way a person looks into your dating choices. I mean, to a degree at least. I used to be pretty bad, to be honest, back in the day when I started dating. I didn't look that great, but my expectations, like what the other person had to be like, were like up there. But the more you date, I think the lesser you think that way, or the less, yeah. That's right? Because you get smarter and like have experience that is not what defines a person. That is not something that is the most important in a relationship. You need to get along. You need to have the same core values to a degree. And if someone is the prettiest person in the world but is like evil inside, then what good is that in a relationship? I don't. Yeah.
I think it's just a young kid thing. Like I think everyone does that.
Yeah, as the younger you are, I think the more you think someone needs to be hot, and that's all they need to be.
Priorities change.
Yeah. Well.
Appearance, sexy guys in both places, y'all. The next point is going to be the approach. In the United States, guys are very open to approach you. They want to talk to you. They're very, from my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, but I could just, this is my opinion. They'll always be like, hey, how are you doing? They want to talk to you. You know, a few months ago, I was at the bar with my friend, and this guy, he just came over my shoulder and he's like, what are you drinking? Your drink looks very fancy like you. And I was like, well, I am fancy. I was like, oh, no, but I didn't say that. That would never happen to me in Germany. Now, granted, if I didn't have a boyfriend, would I still talk to that guy and be like, oh, thank you, instead of me saying, yeah, leave me the hell alone? If I didn't have a boyfriend, I'm thinking like back in the time, I might have actually spoken to this guy, talked to him a little bit more, asked him, or he might have asked me more questions, and then who knows what would happen then if I would go on a date with him or not. And me in Germany, and German guys, you guys, you guys. So different. No approaching. I mean, I've been approached sometimes by German guys, and it's been like random, awkward, very awkward situations. I've had guys like seriously eyeball me, and I've talked about this in so many videos, where they just look at you and just watch you, and then maybe they might speak to you at the end of the night, maybe not. Most people though that I find out who have dated each other and who have been dating for a long time, they're usually friends with their friends. So usually a guy meets a girl through a mutual friend, vice versa.
Yeah, that is pretty accurate, I would say. I mean, German men, I am guilty of this too, to a degree. I have done this before at least. When you think someone is interesting or attractive, or yeah, just that, I suppose, then you look at them, like for example on the train, and maybe you're nervous, like you look away again, and then you look again, and then you start to smile and hope that the other person smiles as well. But even then, many German men don't do anything after that. They just, maybe they're hoping that the girl will do something, but that doesn't really happen. Yeah, I've done that before, definitely. I'm sorry out there, girls out there. I'm so sorry. I will never talk to you in public. What about you? Your experience with that?
That's funny. Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
Yeah, I don't know why that is a German thing. It's so weird. Maybe we don't want to inconvenience people in the public, or maybe we think she will just be super annoyed. She's probably busy, wants to go somewhere, doesn't want to talk to me. Maybe I think that's more the reason, to be honest, for me at least.
I mean, that makes sense, but I think it's like, is it part of the like staring thing in general? Because people stare here a lot more than in other places. So I can't tell. I'm like, are you staring at me just for the sake of staring at me? Or are you staring at me because you want to say something? Or it's very confusing.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just, yeah. Which is funny because you're so straightforward with everything else. Like,
yeah, and just shy when it comes to dating and stuff,
yeah.
approaching people, I guess.
They'll tell you when you look like poop, but that's it.
That's it. And I never told you that you look bad.
No, I'm not saying you specifically. I mean you Germans.
Okay.
In the United States, a lot of the people that I know that have dated or have been dating or are married met each other by themselves. Hey, I was at the grocery store. I was at a club. I was at a bar. I was walking my dog. A lot of people just meet each other like randomly. In Germany, it's mostly all the people that you know approaching each other, or how they've approached each other, been able to connect with another person is through a mutual friend. I don't know how to get you into the mutual friend business.
Pretty true.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I have many times had a girlfriend only because she was friends with maybe another girl that my friend was friends with and stuff like that. So mutual connections that already were established. I'm not sure why that is in Germany, but it's very common. Maybe because it's like safer ground than meeting someone that is completely random. Maybe because they are friends with your friend, you associate them with like a positive thing automatically, and you're more likely to want to find out what that person is all about because they're friends with someone you like already, you know, kind of like that.
I find Canada is kind of like a mix between that kind of situation, like through a mutual friend, and the way that Hayley's explaining, in the sense of like someone will just talk to you wherever. So like you could easily meet someone in a public situation and end up dating them if they didn't harass you. But yeah, it's like really one or the other pretty much. It's like, for Canada anyways, it's a mix, I guess, which is interesting.
The only time that I have talked to someone with the intention of maybe dating them or like just, you know, getting the number or something like that, was like at a cashier kind of situation. Like she was a cashier and had like a Harry Potter shirt on or something like that. I said like, a very cool Harry Potter shirt, and she was like, no one else noticed that it's a Harry Potter shirt, because it was like mischief managed, it said, like not necessarily everyone would notice that right away, I guess. So I said that, and then something more or less like was established out of that situation. But usually I would never do that. I just actually thought to myself in that moment, well, why don't you just say something, you know, what's the worst that can happen. But usually I'm too shy for that, and I think many German men are too shy for that as well for some reason. Yeah, anyway.
Open a shop about how to find German friends so you can find a boyfriend. Because y'all, it's so hard to find a friend that has a mutual friend. Like, even getting to find a friend is hard. So imagine trying to find a friend that has a friend that you can date. Imagine. Oh my gosh. Now I appreciate the German side of it because I can go about my business, I can dance by myself, I can party by myself, I can eat by myself, drink by myself, and not be harassed or bothered constantly. The next part is going to be dating and how each group of people treat you differently and how the dates go.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely something that women would enjoy, I assume.
Yeah, no, definitely, for sure. I feel a lot more comfortable here as far as like potential harassment goes, because you can kind of see it coming, especially in Canada. Like, you can tell like the body language, or like before someone's gonna say something, you're like, you're gonna say something.
Get away.
Yeah, so I've noticed a lot more here. It's just more comfortable in that way.
But actually, something that we noticed as well at an American diner restaurant that we went to, there was a waiter. He wasn't German, I don't think. He was like, what, Indian or something?
Something like that, I think so.
Yeah. And as soon as I was gone to the bathroom that one time, he came to the table and started talking to her and asking her, like, oh, where are you from? Your eyes are so interesting and stuff like that. I'm like,
Good opener. It's good. Just saw the opening, just went in, took it.
Yeah, I mean, very gutsy. Potential boyfriend with her, you know, you never know what's going on there, and he just went straight for it.
That's a thing that would happen in Canada, though.
Really?
Like, yeah, if you're with a girl with one other guy, and the guy leaves for like a second, it's like fair game, man.
That's
you
so
left
rude.
the table.
That's so rude. Actually, I've been asked, even if I was just with friends at like a party, like an attractive girl, right? I went with her and some other people to a party, and she's just a friend of mine. And we went through like a party tent area kind of thing. And there were other guys like looking at her and then looking at me. And when she was passing, I was like passing them. They actually asked me like, "Hey man, is she your girlfriend?" And so that is kind of respectful, right? Because they make sure that she doesn't have a boyfriend or that it's not me because it's rude towards me to just hit on my girl, obviously. And I think that's just common sense that it's really shitty to do that. Otherwise, I don't know.
Well, more people should do that.
Yeah.
Seems like a nicer thing
for sure.
to do.
I think at least. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're not sure.
I think for dating, it's a game for both people. But one of the main things that I've realized is that in Germany, everything's a lot slower. You go for a walk. I've gone on walks as dates, you guys. One time, me and a guy, we walked through like the English garden or something for like an hour or so, and we just talked. And then we got coffee, and then we didn't talk. Like we talked or something like here and there, texting here or there, and then we'd go out to eat a week later or something like, oh, well, do you have the time here? No, it's okay. Oh, do you have time here? No, it's okay. But we found a date and we kept like it was a very long drawn out process. In the United States, I've gone like in the past, it's been
We're gonna go for a movie today on Tuesday, and on Wednesday we're gonna go out to eat on Thursday.
Yeah, the walking date is definitely something we do in Germany. I hear especially Russian girls, Russian women hate it because they expect you to have a location that you can go to at least at the end of it, like a restaurant or something like that. But Germans, sometimes they just do a walking date. Like you walk through a park and drink a coffee and then you're split. I mean, maybe you get food, but it's not like a must-do necessarily. And to us Germans, it's pretty normal.
As again, I feel like Hannah is a bit of both again. Because we, like, I know we've definitely done the walking thing and the coffee thing. But we've also done, like, you know, the has to be a location and all the, I guess, more fancy, more put together kind of dates. There's like the casual version, which I guess is more the German way. It's very casual, like chilled out kind of thing. And then I guess the American way, which is very structured.
Yeah.
Today we're gonna go drink, on Friday we're gonna go do this, on Saturday we're gonna go to the beach.
And it's every day doing something constantly.
Yeah.
In Germany,
told me about
it always
this,
felt
how-
very awkward when a guy wouldn't like call me back or text me back the same day or wish me good night every single day, you guys, because in the United States it's like constantly every day, good morning, good night, how are you, in the middle of the day. We want it now, we want it fast, we want it speed of light. And in Germany it's more like drawn out, let me get to know this person, because you guys aren't technically friends, you guys are just dating. And in the United States it's like, oh, we're friends, we're dating, but you know, let's speed up the process. And I think everybody is going for the same process. I mean, a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, we're not dating to have sex. Like, my mom's watching this video and she's like, excuse me? No, but you're not dating someone for at the end of it all to just sit there and count pennies with them, okay? Maybe you'd like to count pennies, but at the end of the day, girls and guys included, they're having or they're going on dates to end up. So I think that in the United States, guys just want to speed up the process, because then if you go on a bunch of dates in a short amount of period of time, less work, less hassle. I think also that German guys, they value sex a lot more than American guys. And this could just be a wrong assumption, but it's just one that I have made, that they want to know if you're a person that they want to have sex with. I've known a bunch of German guys that when they talk about it and they say they regret having sex with a certain girl. I've never in my entire life in the United States heard a guy say he regretted having sex with a certain girl.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I would say, at least for me, it is. I mean, apparently for other German men as well. For example, if a girl is really attractive and the sex is maybe really good, but later I find out that she's super shitty or like she treated me really badly or something like that, then I regret that. Like, even if the sex was fantastic, I would rather have not experienced that, not have met that person even. I go as far as that as well. So yeah, I think we make sure, usually try at least, to figure out what a person's character is like before we go that far, just to see if you really get along, you know, so that you don't regret it in the end.
Yeah, I mean, I think Canada is definitely a little bit more like what Hayley's describing. As far as like, they're just kind of like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, I've never heard of anyone who regretted it either. Even if
Really?
even if it was like a terrible situation, they were like, but at least I still got to do stuff with her.
Yeah, that's actually something I noticed as well from like an American subscriber. After like I was really broken up over someone many years back, I got a comment like, "Oh, but at least you got laid, right, bro?" I was like, dude, I feel really shitty. I regret it. I don't give a shit if I got laid. Like, what kind of comment is that? That's actually felt super rude to me. I was like, he doesn't understand the way I feel, and he just thinks, oh, I got laid. Like, we don't give a shit. Like,
it's unfortunate. I obviously like that. I approach better, that it means more. But yeah, no, I get what she means as far as that reaction, I guess, goes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was just mind boggled that, what? You regretted having sex with her? Like, yeah, I should have waited a little longer, or I should have found out that she wasn't my type. This has never happened in the United States. My personal opinion, though. And so the last point about after dating and what happens and all that good stuff. So you guys have gone on your coffee dates, your walking dates, and you've gone on your movie dates and dinner dates in the United States. Now, afterwards, you guys have finally had sex, whatever, if it's been a day, a week, a month, or 7 months, I don't know. You're married now and you finally get to have sex, whatever you're deciding to do, you guys. I know a bunch of girls. I hear a bunch of stories. All girls do. We gossip and we talk. In Germany, too. I feel like guys, they've worked up to sex. Sex is like a goal for them, as it is for the United States. But once they've reached that goal, that means that they really like you, they value you, they appreciate you, and they're like, well, maybe I should keep this person around. And not even that they keep you like they own you, but we're mutually beneficial. You benefit me, I benefit you, we're a good couple. Maybe we should just see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. That's true. Like, it goes into what I said before, right? We go through all the work, mostly at least, to figure out if someone is a good person, because we, most of the time at least, think about a potential relationship after, and we don't want to go through all the hassle just to have sex with someone that is a shitty person. So, we don't, I mean, actually, she said we value sex a lot, but it's more like we value our time a lot more.
Yeah, it seems like that. The effort and stuff and time put into it is more important.
Which makes sense to like Germans, like when you think about German stereotypes, we only want the essential information. We don't want to waste time. We like don't like chit chat and stuff like that. It all flows into it.
Yeah.
And in the United States, I feel like they're working towards this goal. It's like a horse with a carrot. It's a race, it's a goal, and then once they reach their goal, they're done. I've had girls where a guy has not texted them back after, you know, they've been dating for weeks, months, and then they finally have sex and the guy just disappears.
Oh shit.
It's just like, what? You did all that work just to have sex? We're never teaching guys to respect women. In Germany, I feel like men are taught to respect women, and it's with the whole equality, women are equal, and a lot of women stay home with their kids. You're allowed to do that. And in the United States, you're not. So we have a bunch of men that grow up with a very poor or a lack of female appreciation. It's like, they just don't know. When you grow up with a mom that's constantly there for you growing up and telling you what to do, we have a bunch of guys in the United States that do not have that or did not have that growing up. And you can just tell in these types of things, especially in the sex aspect. German guys, I feel like, are also very, very, not open, but more mature. They know what they're doing. They have a better understanding. And people in the United States, guys especially, are very, very immature when it comes to the sex aspect.
Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I feel like in at least Canada and North America, the term like ghosted is really a thing that does happen a lot. So if someone feels like they can't really get whatever they want out of you anymore, they just ghost you. They're just gone.
Okay.
So it's like the blocking, deleting, and like, or they just never respond again after whatever happens.
Okay.
I don't think it's as common here as it is in North America.
No, I definitely don't think so.
Like the whole ghosting thing. Like you wouldn't just flat out, like even without an explanation, right? So, like, a lot of
After
people...
having sex and stuff?
Yeah, some people literally
No.
just disappear. Like, you never hear from them again. I just don't think it's as frequent from what I've noticed here than as it is in, like, Canada, America, kind of. It is unfortunately pretty common that it happens
Oh,
there.
that's shitty.
Yeah.
And then just how, you know, they say this may not work out, but we can still be friends, which nobody likes to hear that. But I feel like German guys, they honestly sometimes do mean this. They spent a whole bunch of time with you. They spent, you know, a lot of effort. Even some guys, they spend a lot of money. They still want to be your friend. And it's not 1000% that you have to burn bridges. Like for me, I think I've burned a lot of bridges in the United States, because I'm immature, or I was immature, but also because there was no respect, I think. It wasn't like, okay, mutual adult split. It was like, well, screw you, let's cuss and not be friends, and I don't want to speak to you anymore, and I hope your mom gets herpes, that kind of stuff. And in Germany, you know, like after dating guys and not liking them and not speaking to them and all that good stuff, well, there's probably gonna be like 1 or 2 guys that I've probably been really mean to in Germany that I say, I don't want to talk to you no more, leave me the hell alone, which, sorry, but there are a bunch of guys that I have dated or gone on dates with that I'm still very much okay with them. Like if I saw them on the street, and I would be able to say hi.
We talked about this actually, if that's actually a thing with German men and being friends. For me personally, I have tried to be friends with some of my exes at some point, but we also noticed that it's not really healthy. And that we should probably just move on because it's always kind of awkward, this weird tension, like bad or good tension, whatever, right? So you don't want that necessarily. So I think it's very difficult to become real friends with your ex. You said something, maybe if you've been really good friends before and then started dating, maybe then you can go back to being good friends.
I think if there was already like a base relationship that you really valued to begin with, maybe it would be easier.
Maybe.
I mean, personally for me, everyone knows, at least in Canada, it's like, oh yeah, but we can still be friends. That's not gonna happen. I mean, you can try, but out of my experiences and everybody I know, it doesn't happen. I think it's just an easier thing to accept in the moment than to hear the words like, bye, you know? So.
I know a couple of my friends who have been together who are still friends, but I would say it's more like they are not rude to each other in public when they see each other. It's not like they need to hang out all the time or they need to be around each other.
They can be civil.
Yeah,
okay.
They're civil about it, and I am and I am like that with some of my exes as well, where I can be civil. Not all my exes, but some of them. If I ever saw them in public, right? So, yeah, it depends on the person and the situation, how it ended, and all of that. So,
yeah.
Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this little reaction video, I should say probably, and hope you, Hayley, enjoyed this as well. Dina actually is a fan of yours as well, like a subscriber, and came up with this idea because she said, oh, Hayley made this really interesting video about dating German men versus dating American men. Maybe we should react to it as a cool video idea while I'm here. So we did. Hope you don't mind. Hope you enjoyed it. Hayley's channel linked in the video description as well, of course. If you enjoyed this video, our reaction, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.